We're back. I'm here with Allison Maslan. I'm Bonnie Coleen, host of Sing Beyond, and she's the author of Blast Off, the Surefire Success Plan to Launch Your Dreams into Reality. But I'll tell you, Allison Maslan is much more than an author. She is also president of the Homeopathic Wellness Center in Encinitas, California. She practices as a nationally certified homeopath and licensed holistic health practitioner. She's also the founder of the Homeopathic Academy of Southern California, the largest and most comprehensive homeopathic certification academy in the United States. And you know, I've said so many times on the air that I've led about 30 lifetimes this lifetime. I think many of us are doing that. It used to be we have to die and come back again. But now that we're living until our 90s and some of us even into our hundreds, we get to have a whole bunch of lifetimes this lifetime. So listen to this. When Allison was in her 20s, she built the Borelli Group, a full-service advertising and public relations firm. Her client list included Supercuts, Allstate Insurance, Merrill Lynch, Charlotte Russe, and MCI. She established and sold a scuba diving certification program as well as a hair salon. As a successful real estate investor, Allison manages several properties and coaches others to do the same. And in addition to that, you're a mom. What do you say to somebody who says, I don't have time for that? I've got a feeling you don't take those excuses very well.
You know, I hear excuses all the time. I've coached thousands of people over the years, and you know, I just love creating things. I love, you know, I would say it used to be out of boredom, but I just know that if I can imagine it, I can make it real, and that's really what I try to infuse out of my clients. One of the things that frustrates me the most is when I would be sitting with someone and I would see them have so much potential. They could have, you know, the relationship that they wanted. They could have the financial success that they wanted. They could really get out of the rut if they would just, you know, believe that it could happen and allow themselves to do that. So, you know, I don't get tired because I just love what I'm doing. And, you know, and I even used the same process to manifest all this success in my life to meet my soulmate. So that's the icing on the cake.
All right. Well, so you were married once. You got a divorce. You were a single mom. You started your entrepreneurship at that point in time. You became a homeopathic physician. And now you've gotten remarried? Is that what you're saying?
I have gotten remarried. I was single for quite some time, and you know, in my book Blast Off, I have a whole chapter on relationships and how to manifest your soulmate. And I really, like, it dawned on me because I was so successful in business, but I couldn't get the relationship part right. And then one day I woke up and I thought, gosh, why don't I use this same success formula that I'm using to create business? It's so easy for me. Why don't I use that to find my soulmate? And that's exactly what I did.
Don't you love it when the light goes on like
yeah,
that?
I mean, it was like so simple. Gosh, Allison, and you know,
Hello.
I got really clear as who I was as a person. And instead of, number one, choosing partners that were, you know, opposite of who I was and that really wasn't interested in doing the same things that I like to do. We're often attracted to opposites, but I say opposites attract and then combust.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, you know, I'm going to really put out there what my ideal mate would be. And I wrote a real clear big picture vision. I teach you how to do that in the book. And I just, I emailed my 5 best girlfriends and I said, I just want you to know I'm going to be meeting my soulmate on August 4th. This was in June 2005. And they know how determined I am, and they wrote me back. They're like, oh, okay, Allison, you know, that sounds great. But, you know, don't get disappointed if it doesn't happen.
See what I mean? Yeah, it's right.
Yeah, but I tuned,
yeah,
I know. But I tuned that out because I know just in every other aspect of my life, when I have a dream, I put my head down and I walk towards it every day. So I wasn't willing to listen to that. I kept seeing him with me, you know, doing the things that I was doing. I visualized that he was there. I felt his presence. And I ended up meeting him on August. Actually, I said I was going to meet him August 12th. I met him August 4th. So he even came early. And then we were married the year later.
Well, don't just leave us with that. I mean, give us some of the juicy details. I mean, how did you meet him? Where did you meet him? And just more about how you manifested this.
Well, as I said, I just absolutely knew on a deep level that it was going to happen. So that was the first step, was to have that belief. And then I call it my soulmate shopping list, and I got very clear, and I was very specific about what I wanted. For instance, I wanted to be with an entrepreneur because I am an entrepreneur. I can travel. I can, I have the freedom to, set my time. And I was in a relationship with someone in the corporate world that could only take a vacation, twice a year. And you don't think about those things when you're younger. And someone that liked to go to theater, someone that likes to go out to dinner, someone that liked to dance, so that we would have common values and interests. Someone that was, had that spiritual leaning, like I did. And so I kept visualizing him. As I said, I made that statement to my friends. I'm going to meet him by this date. I was, really put it out to the universe. I didn't leave anything for guess. I really told the universe, this is exactly what I want. And, and I believed that it would happen. So I actually got on Match.com, and I went out with like 9 different guys. And in the very beginning, I said, I just want you to know I want to meet my soulmate. That's why I'm doing this. And, we're often told in the dating, in the books.
Don't show your cards.
Yeah, play hard to get, But I figured if that's not what they want, then they're going to leave quickly, and that's fine with me. And so some of them were like, oh, that's great, and I never heard from them again, and that was fine.
Uh-huh.
And so this one guy kept writing me on Match.com, but he misspelled words in his, in his profile, and I'm kind of a snob when it comes to, because I'm a writer, I'm like, oh my gosh, the guy can't spell. So I didn't respond. And then on the 4th time that he wrote me, he said, I really feel that we should meet. And I thought, wow, this guy is really persistent. Yeah. Yes. So we set a date to meet for coffee, and that day before I was in Starbucks, where I had gone every day for years. And I see this guy standing in line. I go, I think that's my date tomorrow.
No.
And, I'm telling you, I'm in there all the time. And then, I go, I get my chai tea, I turn around, and we locked eyes. We had, that moment like you see in the romance movies where
right.
we're like just caught eyes, we're like floating for a moment. And then, but then I wasn't quite sure that it was my date, so I was, a little hesitant to go up there, so I left. And actually, he told me later that he went out looking for me. And then, of course, we met the next morning, and we were like, wow, it was you. And he had lived around the block from me for 10 years. We had never met. We'd been in the same Starbucks. We'd been in the same grocery store almost every day for years.
So nothing happened until you decided for it to happen.
I was ready. I put it out there. I said what I wanted. And also, I set a boundary for myself, and I wasn't willing to settle for less. And I think settling is the key word, because how many people settle in their lives, and stay in difficult, unhappy relationships, careers, because they don't think that anything better is going to happen. And I'm here to tell you that if you want it bad enough and you put that energy out there and you walk towards it, it will happen.